Go through, it's on!
An assault on liberty in one of the darkest moments in recent American history.
We're gonna beat the f*** out of that guy. The cops are beating the f*** out of that guy. You better watch your head, f***ing bitch. Yeah! It's over! You better run, cops! You better fucking run! Oh, fuck! See how fast the cops turn around once it's all the numbers game.
Just want to say rest in peace to my constitutional rights as a man, to the common law of the land, and Sandy Bland.
January 6, 2021. An insurrection on a devastating scale occurred at the Capitol building. An angry mob broke through military barricades and descended upon the establishment of the U.S. Congress. For the first time ever, guns were drawn on the Senate floor, and soon, at the shock and horror of the millions of Americans watching from home, bullets rang and bodies fell. Instances caught on camera forever immortalized in the minds of the youth. Police being brutally bludgeoned to near death, men equipped in riot gear stoned and flattened between doors, mayhem unfiltered, live. The revolution will not be televised.
In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds.
But the insurrection, different story.
Of Arizona.
And we'll stand in recess until the call of the chair.
We've lost. Protesters are in the building. Thank you.
Amongst the chaos and sea of angry vandals, ex-cons, rogue military agents, foreign and domestic, press and media correspondents in small groups infiltrated the action of the Capitol and gained unprecedented access to visual data and media files that was vital to uncovering the truth behind the anarchy. Some made it out okay, others not so much.
Fake news. You're all pieces of shit. You're traitors to America.
At the break of dawn, on the eve of one of the most horrifying events this nation has ever witnessed, our story begins. On a jet plane during the peak of a global health crisis, a pandemic of grave proportions, we, the brave filmmakers and independent frontline journalists, as a team, descend on the nation's capital. Despite a strict curfew enforced, unofficial gag order on all law personnel and government officials, intense rumors of imminent attacks throughout the city, with no guarantee to make it out alive or find people even willing to speak, the challenges were insurmountable.
Federal law enforcement is on full alert after warnings from intelligence officials that another attack on the U.S. Capitol could be imminent.
And yet a call to action was felt from deep within us all, a need for a story to be told, for art to be created.
A citywide curfew is in effect. 7 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You are currently in violation of mayor's curfew.
I've been here since I was 12 years old. I grew up in this town. What just happened on Wednesday was appalling to me. I've always been an activist. I worked for the DC public school system. I worked for the federal government, and I was in the United States Army. So I'm very hurt. I'm very disappointed. I gave a lot of my life to my country because I believe in my country.
We just came here from California to show our support for Trump, and we were wanting to protest the election, and all I saw was good people sharing their food, their water, families, children everywhere. And that was during the day. Then when I got back to my room, I could not believe what I was hearing.
We're visiting from Florida, so we actually flew in the day before the chaos at the Capitol happened. It took a considerable period of time for law enforcement to show up. If this had been a Black Lives Matter, if this had been a gathering of people who worshiped Allah, this place would have been surrounded by the National Guard.
What happened to the Black Lives Matter? They criminalized them. I remember the Black Panthers, they criminalized them. And none of them was climbing over the fence of Capitol Hill. They weren't threatening the government. They weren't trying to overthrow the democracy.
While we're here, we might as well set up a government.
The juxtaposition with the Black Lives Matter protest last summer is astounding.
Right here, police officers starting to move some of the crowd. Sadly, a man was just knocked off his feet.
Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you. Yes. You good, sir? Do you need medical attention?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
I will caveat this and say that I was not anywhere near the Capitol protest, but being in this area and knowing how secure that it is, just like on normal days or in other like First Amendment activities that I've participated in myself, I know that if anyone suspected that any building could be a target or any statue could be a target, there are barricades, blocks out, cops, suited up like they're going to war. And so from what I saw on TV, things were just a lot more lax in a way that I would not have expected, having participated in protests here before.
These are people who everybody know whenever they come together, it's always problem, they're problematic, they come with the guns and they Nazi SWAT stickers and all. This is trouble. How dare they come to the nation's capital and go to the Capitol and there's not enough law enforcement there to stop it?
They said they were going to storm the Capitol. I guess the Capitol Police thought it was empty threats and refused backup from the National Guard. A lack of structure, if you ask me.
Then you got leadership, the president, his family. You got his lawyer, everybody out there call to arms. Excuse me, this is America. I'm African American. You would never have let me do what I've seen done here.
Yes, the response was 1,000 times differently had it been someone of a different race or a different religious belief. That's why I say it's so blatant. There's no way you can continue to turn a blind eye and say, oh, well, no, it's not like that. Yes, it is.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Trump did antagonize it, but he did not call for that. I'm not sure any American would call for that and then still call himself an American.
We have hundreds of thousands of people here, and I just want them to be recognized. These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
Over the next 10 days, we get to see the machines that are crooked, the ballots that are fraudulent, and if we're wrong, we will be made fools of. But if we're right, a lot of them will go to jail. So Let's have trial by combat.
That was very, very wrong, especially to go in our sacred place, the Capitol. They didn't have no right to do that. So the president must be punished. That is wrong. He's the one that instigated all that.
We came to support our president, and we know that the election was stolen. So that's what we were here for, just to protest that. And next thing we know, we're being called domestic terrorists by the so-called president-elect or whatever. And so,
and mobsters,
it's just awful.
And rioters.
And, let's not forget that a decorated veteran lost her life. And
I can't believe how we're called mobsters, but the actual people that are burning down our cities and rioting and stealing, not one of them has gotten shot. And this patriot, 14-year veteran for a
San Diego
time tour gets shot. And no tear gas, no tasing, just gets shot in cold blood. And that's my take.
Storming is the right word. Another word that I've seen, not for the action itself, but its meaning is sedition. I think that's a very appropriate word.
It got out of hand. There was a few bad apples. I do not believe that was an angry mob in a whole, but I do believe that was planned from the people in the mob, the small select few in the angry mob, so to speak.
Defend your Constitution! Defend your liberty!
I actually did walk up by the Capitol building while it was going on. If you were to look at it from the road on the backside, which I was standing on, a lot of people milling around, not a whole lot. I'm sure it felt a lot different once you got up the top of the steps.
We were, where they all went to Washington, we stayed back where Trump was speaking at the White House.
We will not let them silence your voices. We're not going to let it happen.
We stayed in that area. Then at one point, everybody took off to the Capitol. And at that point is when everything happened. I did hear that there were bricks laid out for people. And I do believe that was those Antifa buses that they said were there.
But I have heard that they were placed there beforehand to be found.
And I do believe that was planned.
I actually just saw a video where they were pretty much letting them in, and they let them in through the door as well, which I find very strange. I don't know why they would let them get that far. That's the question I've been asking.
I did see the video of the police officers opening the gates. I did see videos of the policemen taking selfies. Like right now, I want to talk to a police officer so bad, but I'm just afraid. But these guys felt that it was pretty cool to just go up during committing a crime and take a selfie. That's the part I don't understand, how they were allowed to commit a crime in a federal building and nothing happened to them.
I don't think there was a barricade.
The police were opening the barricades
They
and
let
letting
them
them in. The police were actually letting people in at some point. Some points the barricade was pushed in. At some points the police were just opening it up.
Yeah.
That's why I say I think this was planned. And pretty much I felt like sheep to be slaughtered, and like we were planned. We were played and we played right into it.
You know what's funny? Because this is one of those circumstances where this doesn't happen often, but I actually have some sympathy for the cops that day. I see lots of people talking, well, they didn't put up a fight or what have you. This is speculation, but if I were to guess that the reasons for the lax security is probably because of bias from the leadership of the security forces. That probably explains it more than anything else, more than just like the rank and file who were there on the streets. And when I try to exercise empathy and I think about how few of them there were versus how many angry and potentially violent protesters there were, I do have some sympathy for just like being like, yo, like we can't, like if this turns into a fight, we can't win it.
You better run, cops! You better run!
I would not have wanted to be in the cop situation that day.
Yeah, we just reacted appropriately. We just took directions. I didn't have any direct reaction.
Our regularly scheduled program will resume.
I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. I am here at the headquarters of D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department. This afternoon, I announced the citywide curfew for the District of Columbia beginning at 6 p.m. this evening, going until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. During the curfew, no one is allowed to be outside in public places.
The citywide curfew of 6 p.m. has been enforced. All pedestrians are forced to stay inside, which means the only ones out at night are the ones looking for trouble. Police, security, barricades fill the streets of DC. We do our best to ignore the subtle stench of bacon and remnants of tear gas that engulf the nation's heart. The ominous glow of a full moon led our path, and the truth fueled our convictions. With each step, our paranoia grew, uncomfortable feeling that I was being watched. A silly notion when you think about it. Given all the events that just occurred, of course we were being watched. We were there to get answers, to see how something like this could ever happen, and if it was just a warning for worse things to come.
I would venture that there are those who are somewhat shocked. The irony in that is beyond description, because 4 years of someone validating bad behavior, someone validating that it's okay to hate, to discriminate, to only focus on what's important to you and refusing to see how your choices, your behaviors affect the greater good. And then it comes to this, and for people to be astonished that it took place, I find that to be beyond ironic.
Well, we have to set an example. He is the leader, he cannot do what he did. Okay, the whole world is watching. So they preach democracy from here to the third world, especially in Africa. If they do the mess and they don't do nothing about it, then the whole world will say, okay, so where's the democracy that they are preaching?
And right now, I think everybody who went over the line going to the Capitol and went up past the security barriers, I think everybody should get 10 years starting, just going up on the grounds. That's not that we shouldn't allow this. They don't need to soft pedal this. They need to come down, and these people need to get justice for what they've done when they went into the Capitol. They went in with guns, explosives. They were saying they were going to kill Nancy Pelosi. Excuse me. How much more violent is that?
Vote on some shit! Where the fuck is Nancy? Start making a list, put all those names down, and we start hunting them down one by one!
Traitors get guillotined! This is not America.
This was like a flashpoint moment, I felt. It wasn't like, oh, they've been protesting all week, or they've been, like a continuous build-up. It was like flashpoint, got there, got far too close, and things got out of hand.
I think they're just trying to get people scared, and they're gonna try to blame that whole incident to really, if you look at it, to take our rights away. I mean, look at what they're doing. They're barricading everything, making us look like we came here to, I don't know,
as rioters.
As rioters, and they're calling us all kinds of,
with children, a lot of children all around, and they busted a 15-year-old little boy's head. The police did. We saw Antifa busted. We saw a man with horns that's a professional paid enticing the police, and then he took off and ran behind the people when the people were getting tear gas after he pissed off the police.
I feel like in this day and age we have professional, I don't want to call them protesters, more of rioters, professional rioters that go from city to city to city. Those people that did that were not DC residents. They may be residents from Minnesota or Minneapolis or wherever these other riots have been happening. But Trump supporters, they probably were, but that does not represent Trump supporters as a whole. I actually support Biden. So that's just my point of view.
Extremism, I think, in all forms is a bad thing, whether it be on the left or the right. And I think over the past year we've seen it on both sides, and that was the right turn. I think social media has a lot to answer for, just the different platforms and the different information that people are getting, and it's segregating and pushing people apart.
I've been in D.C. since 1955. I've seen a lot of changes. I was here during the riots, but I have never been so disheartened as I am now when I see what's going on coming from top leadership. Nothing but we've had 4 years of a nightmare where the truth is overshadowed by lies, and people believe it, and nobody's doing anything to pull us together. Everybody's got their own agenda. There's too much politicking in everything now. There's a right and a wrong. There's law and order. Ever since we've had this administration, I'm so appalled that there are a lot of Republicans that I truly love and respect, like General Powell is one of them. But to see the Republican Party to stand by and see this country totally destroyed from the inside because they didn't do what they needed to do, I can't believe it. I remember when I was a kid walking around, and when I saw the signs "In God We Trust" and "Justice for All," I believed it. I'm going to always believe in my country. I want to always believe that America is the greatest place on earth to live. But America's got a long way to go.
I think people who didn't think, oh, well, no, I'm not racist, or oh, no, this problem doesn't exist. I think since it's right in their face, and there wasn't anyone there who had more melanin than them, they were forced to face the fact that even though you don't see color, even though, no, I just believe in conservative Christian values, there's people preaching the same Jesus you're preaching, and look how they behave. So I think right now it's a hush because they have to face the fact that everything you want to be blind to is right there in your face. It has always been there. We just had someone in the White House who said it's okay to be that way and to be open about it. Regardless of what anybody says, this country was built on bias. It was built on privilege. It was built on, I'm going to take this from you because it benefits me even though you're at a disadvantage. It is not a country built on Christian values. The people who came here perhaps were looking for an opportunity to worship as they see fit, but then that quickly deteriorated when the wealth and the privilege that this country offered got set out to everybody else. Other countries realized what was available, just like they went to the continent of Africa and raped it of everything and made it beautiful. They saw the ability and the things that were amazing about this country, and the people who were indigenous here suffered the cost for it. And today going through, it's very quiet, very still, sparse.
Well, I feel like everybody's on edge. Maybe people are looking over their shoulder a little bit, not to know what's going to happen next or anything like that. It's just been tense.
It's just an eerie feeling when you come here because you just can't get close. Even here now, if you look behind us, just in the summertime, you could walk past here. It's all gated off. You can't even get close to the White House. It's not what I'm used to from coming to D.C. This is definitely a different D.C.
I just think they want people to be afraid. But look around. I mean, the city's calm. It was that same, the day after we were walking around, sightseeing or whatever.
Busting windows.
I think they're just trying to get people scared.
It's definitely calmed down. This is actually the third night I've walked down through DC. I live over in the northeast. First off, seeing the barriers around the Capitol was quite upsetting. Because I love walking through those grounds, and I'd be sad to see that taken away from us. Now you can't need to walk all around it. You just feel separated from it. Yeah. And it's a pretty iconic building in this country. And it's great that you can be in there and walk around it and get a feel for it. Now you can't. So that's a bit sad.
I feel a very still calm, very still, but it's tenuous. And to answer your question about fear, I'm not fearful. I serve an amazing God, and He tells me not to fear. That means to be aware, to use the resources that are available to you. Don't be foolish, and don't tempt His grace. But no, I'm not fearful. We know we've got God on our side, so we're not worried. There's nothing to be scared of, nothing to fear. So we just came really to enjoy the sights and take a look at the monument.
We have a huge amount of police out here. We do every day. Right. But I think the city is definitely in good hands and will be safe moving forward. It's been very challenging. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough many months. And we just have to continue to focus on what's important, focus on the problems at hand, focus on what we can do to help. And we'll be fine.
Just wanna say rest in peace to my constitutional rights as a man, to the common law of the land, and Sandy Bland. I'm from a nation that was greater than the one that I'm in. Till savages came along, cut the head off of the throne, cut the tongues, and they left the eyes in. So you can see that I've been spitting heat since 94 like Andre, boy, I've been a rising. After we finished with the money railroad and underground, bet we enterprising.